The Sigma Pi Phi Fraternity is an international society of distinguished, accomplished black men who are leaders in their communities. Locally, the Springfield-based Beta Sigma chapter is holding their annual W.E.B. Du Bois Public Policy Series event this week. Event Committee Chair Van Johnson and local President Brooks Fitch visited our Connecting Point studio to tell us more.
It is designed to be an experience. It's designed to be an aspirational model opportunity for young people. We have a very strong involvement by the students. We will be presenting scholarships, which are very, very important, but also giving the students a chance to interface with adults that really care about their welfare and are trying to improve this community. So we have a number of key partners that are involved in this. Police Lexus has been involved over the years, Basketball Hall of Fame. We have a number of people, a number of entities that are trying to do things to help improve the community that we live in. But it's meant to be, it's going to be a real experience this year because Dr. Hill, he's a great presenter, but more than that, he's going to share a great deal about music and jazz, and it's going to be very much an engaged kind of a program, an interactive kind of a program.
Mr. Johnson, I know you're committee chairman for this particular event. Am I right on that? Do I have that?
That's correct.
A lot of work goes into something like this. I don't have
Yes.
to tell you. We appreciate you giving us some time. My understanding is that Dr. Hill is going to talk specifically about the importance of art and music education, what a perfect place to be at for that, and how it really can transform lives and help the whole community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's a perfect example of that,
Right.
knowing where he came from and where the level he's achieved at this point. It's going to be an incredible evening. We're really looking forward to it. We're looking forward to having some students, some Springfield Public School students in attendance. So it's going to be a great opportunity for students as well as those of us who have been on the planet a little longer to really understand and see how music shapes our lives and all the opportunities that come from participation in music.
Now, let's be clear to folks. This is open event to the public, but it's not free.
It is not free.
This is not free. Tickets are a little expensive, but goes for a really good cause that Brooks Fitch was touching on, supporting scholarships that you folks give out and book awards programs. It's very important.
Exactly. There'll be one scholarship awarded and 3 book awards. And quite frankly, this year the crop of applicants and the awardees are an incredible crop of young men that, frankly, when I look at their resume compared to my own resume right now, they're doing pretty well. So we're really proud of them, and we think it's a great opportunity to give back and do something for the students.
Brooks Fitch, let me ask you, in general, this organization of black men,
Yes.
both here locally in Springfield and internationally, is about public policy issues, social action programs, and it's all about, as I understand it, benefiting black youth, families, and the community.
That is it. Could not have said it better. The organization has been around since 1904. It was organized in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1904. The local chapter here, which is known as a Boule, was organized in 1983. Some of the people that have been members over the years, W.E.B. Du Bois was an archon, and Martin Luther King Jr. Presently, you have people like Jeffrey Holder, former U.S. Justice, and people like that. And then, of course, the group we have here in Springfield is just an outstanding group of committed individuals. One of the things people often look at is they look at people hopefully of accomplishment, but we focus on accomplishment and continuing contribution. So it's not just about your resume and what you have done in the past, but it's also about what you're going to do today. So it's all about trying to improve this community because we know that we all are interconnected, and we're trying to help in that way.
I love the fact, too, your local group, each group is called a Boule, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but from the Greek, and it's some material that I found at the website, a council of noblemen.
That is correct.
What a great term to give to an organization. I mean, if you are part of that, you want to rise up to make sure you're worthy to be part of it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's really the key. And that's been the way that it has operated since 1904. It's all about uplift and looking to encourage and push forward.
And Van Johnson, as Brooks Fitch mentioned, one of the people who's a member of this fraternity through the early years, W.E.B. Du Bois himself, you honor him by naming your public policy series here locally after him, Western Massachusetts native, man who is important to us in these parts in particular.
Absolutely, absolutely. And he spoke about those who, he spoke about the talented 10th committing and giving back to the community and seeking to uplift the community. And that's what we believe in. We think this event is one piece of that. It's one small piece of what we do, what we seek to do in the community.
And what a history, go ahead.
I want to also augment that with the scholarships are named after Howard L. Edmonds. He was the founder of the local chapter, the local Boule in 1983, but more importantly, he was an educator over the years and worked very, very, very closely with Springfield Public Schools. He also worked at the Dunbar Community Center for a number of years, but a committed educator. So the scholarships are actually named for Howard L. Edmonds.
I looked at a list of names of folks in the local Boule, the local archons, and what an amazing group of people. I mean, young and old, attorneys, educators, people in various medical fields, you name it. There are accomplished gentlemen there, retired judges and active judges, and I can't imagine what the discussions and the ideas brought forward have got to be like, because, I mean, there's a whole lot of physical power and a lot of brain power in your group.
Absolutely, and I think the one key point is, I think we all believe in mentorship, and mentorship isn't just for someone who's young. At my age, I still appreciate the mentorship that I get from men in the room who are a little bit older, a little bit wiser. So absolutely, and wanted to go back to the point that Brooks was making. You were talking about the history of Black Greek letter organizations really does start with Sigma Pi Phi Fraternity, but shortly after there were college Greek letter organizations formed, and those organizations are just as important today as they were then. So the organization has a strong history. Black Greek letter organizations have a strong history. Many of us are members of college Greek letter organizations, and we're very proud of those memberships. But this is just the Boule is just a continuation of that. So.
The distinction is that you have to have a college degree. This is a graduate fraternity. There are a number of other Greek fraternities that are for undergraduates, but this is strictly for college graduates.
Well, Brooks Fitch, Van Johnson, thank you both for what you're doing for the community with Beta Sigma Boule, and thank you for coming in and sharing some time with us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.